Yo, what's up with y'all, man? I hope you're doing good. If you're new and you're a fan of the NBA, subscribe to this channel. So let's just straight into it.
It's like it's Minute Maid, hijack 4, renegade, 24, number 8, Kobe shit fade away, ballin' since 11th grade, still in school, let them hate.
The Ball brothers, one of America's most sought-after sources of entertainment at one point in time, mostly known for their historical high school basketball performances and the antics of their father, LaMelo Ball. For the most part, these days, only two of the remaining four characters are relevant today, and those two are Zoe and LaMelo, the eldest and the youngest of the trio. LeVar managed to get all three in the NBA at one point in time, as you all know, but that ended really quickly. But that's okay because we are only focused on two of them, if we're being honest. Even LeVar himself admitted to focusing on these two and praising just how special they were going to be. But he really knew what he had in one of these three boys, and no one else had a clue. The man tried to tell us all that only one of the Ball brothers were truly going to ball. Lonzo was always the golden child of the three. He is the one who set the standard and the tone and allowed LeVar to talk however he wanted to talk because his son had the game to prove it. Mans was averaging 24, 11, and 11. That's a triple-double with alongside 5 steals per game. Lonzo Ball was that dude who carried on his magnificent performances to UCLA. Man was playing for his hometown. The prince has arrived for his crown, and he thrived throughout his time there until his elimination game against Kentucky and De'Aaron Fox. It's crazy personally for me because I remember all of this just like it was yesterday. UCLA versus Kentucky back in 2017 was one of the most hyped up college games that I've personally witnessed. It was even crazy for me to hear about it back in the day because I wasn't even into basketball too much until that NBA draft. The point is, he was expected to not be a good NBA player like he is now, but rather a great one, and he is just simply not that. Compared to what many expected him to be by textbook definition, he is a disappointment. Point blank period, there was no discussion. But not a complete disappointment if you ask me. Now please do not get me wrong, Zoe is a good starting point guard. He's almost became a Swiss Army knife out there on the basketball court. He's known as one of the better defenders in the NBA, of course one of the better passers, and also he's elite at grabbing rebounds. He's always a triple-double threat almost every other night if he can get the points, and that right there is one of my main issues. Lonzo Ball and his ability to score on the offensive end. Now, over the years, he has progressed and he's reached new heights with his three-point shooting. He shot like 7, 8 threes a game last year, maybe 6 actually, I'm not sure, but just know that the attempts were up there, and he shot 37 to 38% from the three-point line last year, which is phenomenal for someone like him, knowing from where he came from. If you know, then you know. I don't gotta repeat myself. That's all you gotta see, that's all you gotta remember. You got flashbacks. I'm getting flashbacks right now by doing this. I'm kind of scarred. But yeah, he improved his three-point shot, which was a major hole in his game, but if we're being honest, Lonzo Ball still has a lot of catching up and a lot of developing to do with his offensive game. He literally has almost no in-between game. He struggles heavily when it comes to finishing at the rim. When it comes to the mid-range game, it's almost non-existent. You won't see him pull up for a floater or any type of off-the-dribble fancy move as often as any star point guard in the NBA should be doing. Lonzo's game is so simple, but yet so complex as well. He has the basics of the game down, but then again, he doesn't. Like, his handle is good on the ball, but again, it's not great enough for him to create his own shot or for the Pelicans to call an ISO play for Lonzo Ball. Like, if your team is calling an ISO play for Lonzo Ball, bro, your team is in a whole lot of trouble. Nobody should do that. He's not good enough to do anything like that. When it comes to him applying pressure and attacking the rim, like, he's not the greatest at that either. Lonzo Ball just has a lot of holes when it comes to him and his offensive bag. That's his issue right there. He doesn't have much of a bag when it comes to it. And due to the non-existent bag that he has, his creation ability is really limited, and also so is his finishing at the rim. And do not even get me started with the free throws. Now, so far this season, they did get better, but bro, it's like 3 games in and he still has to prove more to me. But even 3 games in, his free throw percentage is still not good for an NBA starting point guard. He's shooting like 66, 67% from the free throw line. Much better than his previous seasons, shooting 58% from the free throw line. It's just his efficiency as a whole. Outside of the three-point line, he got that down pat. Shout out to him for doing that. But when it comes to finishing at the rim, 0-8 free at the rim. In the free throw line, he is like one of the worst in the league efficiency-wise. And because of major holes like that, I think it limits his potential mightily. And even then, with all these simple rudimentary flaws that he has, he's still a good point guard in the NBA because he does the basics. He's just not going to be as good as he was projected to be originally. But his brother LaMelo Ball can be exactly what many of us thought Zoe would be in the NBA in the first place. Little brother is about to run off with all of the drip and sauce that Zoe started, and LaMelo is going to finish it and make it even better. Give it a second. I just need you to breathe and pay attention to me. Look at my eye. Look at him, look at him, look at him. I'm finna put you in a trance, but don't stare at me too hard, because once you stare at me too hard, then you're gonna start to notice that I'm kind of ugly, so don't do that. But Lonzo Ball was projected to be a bad defender in the NBA. He was projected to be a good three-point shooter, a sus one because of his form, but still a good three-point shooter for the most part because of what he's proven in the past. The elite passing ability, it lived up to the hype if you ask me. The rebounding, of course, is there. And the scoring, at least back in the day for Lonzo Ball, was there as well. Lonzo Ball today lacks a lot of those things that I just mentioned, and LaMelo Ball, that literally almost perfectly describes his game. Except he has more swag, and he has an actual offensive toolbox, a bag, a plethora of moves that he can go to and rely on. LaMelo Ball is going to be everything Lonzo was supposed to be and then some. He has everything you'd want your star PG to have, and that's just something that Zoe doesn't have. Again, Zoe reeks at finishing at the rim, and he doesn't have much of an in-between game unlike LaMelo Ball. Listen up, boys. Zoe is the type of player that you'd want to complement your star player. LaMelo Ball is the star player. There's levels to this, there's differences, and there's just certain things that LaMelo has and certain things that he can do that Zoe cannot do to save his life. Point blank period. LaMelo has already unlocked these levels because he has no bizarre holes in his game that will limit just how good of a player he is and his scoring number. I can imagine a peak Lonzo Ball roughly averaging anywhere from 12 to 15, 16 max, absolute max, 17 points per game, along with, of course, 7, 8, 9 assists, maybe 7, 6 rebounds. Those are Lonzo Ball type numbers. Those are Lonzo Ball-esque numbers. Now, that's just if he ever solves the major kinks that he has in his game, and if he does that, then his scoring numbers will see quite a bit of a rise. LaMelo Ball's peak, though, is an entirely different discussion. See, Lonzo's more of a third, maybe fourth option on a championship team. LaMelo Ball would probably be the first or second, and I ain't gonna lie, that is something that Zoe will never be. Lonzo doesn't have the potential to average 25 points per game in the NBA one day. Lonzo doesn't have the potential to run an organization like LaMelo Ball. Lonzo doesn't have the potential to be the face of an organization like LaMelo Ball. Lonzo cannot provide you that security blanket, that superstar type protection that LaMelo Ball provides. He can't give you any of that. The man just gives you vibes and 11 assists per game. The man will just give you a cool 6, 7, maybe 11, 12 points per game, and also 7 assists and pretty good vibes and music as well. LaMelo Ball, it's different though. Not only is he providing you with the vibes, of course, but he has the potential to provide you with anywhere from 23 to 25 points per game, 11 assists, 5, 6, 7 rebounds. Of course, I'm assuming that he'll fix his shooting woes on a good efficiency one day. I can just see LaMelo Ball fulfilling the shoes that his big brother couldn't fulfill. Now, right now, in the moment as we speak today, it's like December 28th or whatever. LaMelo, his rookie season is not going as planned so far, but I expect things to change. I expect him to be starting as the season goes on, and I, of course, expect his minutes to go up while Gonzalo Rozier's numbers or his minutes to go down. Right now, I'm predicting how LaMelo Ball's career will play out 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now. I'm not talking about right now. This man, of course, Lonzo Ball is better than LaMelo right now. Melo literally just got into the league like last month, so let's calm it down, boys. But to come to a conclusion, it seems like we're all in an illusion. LaMelo Ball is word for word, verbatim, every single thing Lonzo was projected to be in the NBA. And for Zoe to watch his little bro, the dude who he was better than at hoops for his entire life, to be surpassed in just a few years, maybe even as soon as next year, bro, it hurts. Now, he ain't gonna admit it, and of course he'd be happy for him, but deep down, like super deep down, he's got to be like, damn, I used to change this man's diapers and his dumps, and now he's out here taking a dump on every single NBA team in a fashionable way, the way that I was supposed to do. It's just human nature, but those thoughts that I just said out loud are thoughts that's mostly, for the most part, unspoken. Trust and believe me though, if someone was to ever be what Lonzo Ball could never be. Speaking of LaMelo, he had the luxury of watching his big brother's mistakes and eventually taking the crown of the best brawl brother in the NBA. That crown will be his for the taking soon. Really, really soon. This is the end of the video though, man. I really do appreciate you for coming over here on my channel today and seeing what I have to talk about. I ain't gonna lie, if you didn't know this, I'm gonna tell you what I know. That is extremely dope of you for you to do. Before you leave, I want you to do a few things. I want you to go ahead and follow me on Instagram, subscribe to this channel, go ahead and share this video, and leave a like if you didn't already. Do all those great things. But outside of all that, I just want to say shout out to Rusty. If you know, you know. But outside of all that, I want you to make sure that you go ahead and make your day great. Until then, I'll get right with you.
No way, remember back when I couldn't get a play, no home, I ain't have a place to stay, I got to work, made it serve, free the way, told my girl who that